Good morning, everybody. We are out at the farm this morning. I just poured everybody some feed, just kind of hanging out here for a few minutes. Today we are headed out to the ranch, and we are going to cut up some of that stuff that was leaning on the fence that we saw last week. I'm going to clean up that fence and secure that fence. That way I can get the two herds rotated, and as soon as I get the two herds rotated, I'm going to be bringing these 4 bulls out there for about 5 weeks or so and bring them back here, and then bring out some other bulls from the back over here, put them with the commercial cows, and we'll go from there. But most important thing is getting a couple of these fences secured that really need it. That way I feel comfortable rotating the way I'm going to have to rotate. It is probably going to take me the next couple of weeks to clean up these fences and make sure they are secure. That way I'm comfortable with the commercial cows not crawling through. But got everything I need for this morning. I got T-posts in the back of the truck, I got the hammer for the post, and I have the straps. So we're gonna head out to the ranch and get everything secured out there. So I made my way over to this fence over here. This is an old wooden fence, and I had to do a head count because someone leaned on this fence over here and made a big hole. So just got to make sure I have everybody, and I had 27 calves over here and 4 bulls, so should be good over there. I'm just gonna throw a couple of nails in each post. Eventually this fence is gonna get replaced, but as you can see, to secure it and make sure these guys aren't leaning on the bottom too, I put in a run of wire. But I'm gonna throw a couple of nails over here and just make sure that there's no more holes on the fence. So I came and poured some feed back over here. When I feed the other guys up front, these guys back here that are on the back half of the 75 acres that we have, they like to peer over the fence, and that wood fence doesn't give me the best feeling when they're peering over it. These guys have actually jumped over fences to get to feed, so I went ahead and I poured some feed back here. That way I don't have to worry about them messing up a brand new fence. And as you can see, they're coming around the corner now. It'll keep them occupied, and I'm gonna drop them a round bale a little later on today. As you can see, they'll be happy. Look at that. This is actually a steer, one of the guys that I was worried about. He's the one, when I was trying to pin him up, yeah, he's all perky and jumpy and excited. When I was trying to pin him up to bring him over here, he actually jumped out of the pins. So it was very difficult to catch him. But give it a few minutes, that way they all come back here and don't follow me back up when I drive over there. All right, I made it out to the ranch. I don't really 100% remember where that tree was down, so I'm kind of guessing which pasture I'm driving in. But I got the loppers with me. I got the little chainsaw in the truck, which is the one I like to use without breaking my arms carrying that thing around. Just trying to watch where I'm walking. There's so many spider webs and everything else. I think I'm in there. Yeah, I'm in the right spot. So I'm gonna walk through here, and I'm gonna see what I can cut with the loppers. And because I know there's a palm tree down and there's a cypress tree down. I just gotta cut it off the fence, and I'm gonna replace a few of these old fence posts, and then I think that'll be done with this fence line. And over the next week or so, I'm just gonna keep walking fence lines and making sure they're secure. That way the cows can't get out over into the marsh. And it'll give me some peace of mind, because when these cows are out, it's a nightmare to get them back, because they know, like the old saying says, grass is greener on the other side. So get this fence fixed up, get some new fence posts put in, and should be good to go with this fence. All right, so I got everything pulled off the fence. All this debris right here was actually from the water rising and pushing it up against the fence. But there was one big tree that fell here, and so I just cut all the limbs to it. I got to bend that fence stay back up so the top run of wire is straight. I'm probably going to put T-post, probably 3 or 4 T-posts up along here. And sorry the camera's so shaky, there's so many mosquitoes out here, it's ridiculous. But not too long ago I did replace this fence post, and I have to replace the rest of these, but kind of waiting till the price of wood goes down. Anyway, I got everything cleared up. What I'm gonna do is I have to cut this palm tree. I'm gonna cut it here, and then this cypress tree that fell here, I'm gonna cut that. I might dice that up and keep that for some firewood. But these sable palm trees are a nightmare when they fall, and they are so bad with chainsaws. They dull out your chainsaw blade so quick. But I'm gonna get this cut real quick and get out of here, because the mosquitoes are a disaster here. So gonna get the chainsaw fired up and get this all cut down. All right, I got it all diced up and cut, and probably come back another day. Excuse me, I don't know what's going on. I've been so stuffy and sneezy and clogged up this morning. Don't know if it's pollen or I'm getting sick, whatever. But as you can see, the wire just stood back up. So I'm gonna go get a T-post. I'm gonna replace that old cypress post there, and then probably get 3 more and run them down this way. That way the wire is just secure. This top wire kind of dips down like it does because of this. I need 2 hands to straighten that back out, but I'll finish pulling all these vines and stuff off. That way the wire isn't sagging when I come back with the T-post. But I think this definitely, I mean, that used to be a fence post. It definitely needs replaced. And this one down here definitely needs replaced, because that's just basically a stick. And then there's one more down here that needs to be replaced. As you can see, the water really has not gone anywhere, and I'm really worried about that hole right there once this water disappears. But I just kind of keep an eye on it once or twice a week, and make sure that the water is still there, because when the water goes down, the cows will walk right underneath that and underneath the fence, because the fence is supposed to go directly across. But we'll get that figured out another day once I can get down there and fix it. But as of right now, I'm gonna go grab the T-post, fence pliers, and straps. That way I can get out of here and away from these dang mosquitoes. But let's go get those fence posts, and I'll be right back. So with these T-posts, I'm just gonna grab a bundle. There's 5 in a bundle, so I gotta grab these, that hammer, and the metal straps that tie the wire to here. And I'm trying to hurry because the cows can see me and they might start running over here to see what the heck I'm doing, and I don't want them on this fence line because it's not the best fence line, but it's just better to keep them back over that way. All right, well, I got the T-post put in and strapped in. Oh man, I didn't record any of it because the mosquitoes were just tearing me up. My neck, my back, my shoulders, man. I'm gonna feel it later, but I just wanted to get it done, so I went ahead and I just powered through it and finished it up. Now I'm gonna head on to the other side of that creek, and I think from what I remember, there's a couple of trees that are down and there's a couple of posts that need to be replaced. So I'm gonna go head over there and replace those, and we'll go from there. As of the fence, I think that is the last part I need to fix before I get these guys rotated. What I'm gonna do before I rotate them, I have to get a head count on how many EFL commercial cows we have, and jot that number down and send it to the boss man. And then those guys are going to come on this south end over here, and hopefully they stay where they're supposed to. Unlike every other winter, and it's been every winter, the 3 winters I've worked here, we've had an issue with these commercial cows crawling out, or someone leaving the gate open during hunting season, and I have to chase them back. So we're gonna head over there and we're gonna try and prevent that as much as possible, as I do every year. But you know, last year someone left the gate open and every single one of the commercial cows got out. So if it's not one thing, it's another. But the best we can do is try and prevent that by being proactive and working on our fences. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next 2 weeks. Kind of sucks, but it's part of it. And sometimes this job is easy, sometimes it's hard, sometimes you have to do annoying work like fix fence, but you got to do what you got to do, and we'll get it done. This stuff is a saving grace. I didn't know I had it until I looked into the center console of the truck. Turns out I did have some. So I now smell like a walking can of bug spray, which I am fine with. So my goal today is to clear out all of this stuff here and just cut it away from the fence. You got some oak trees, palmetto trees, cypress trees, all kinds of trees that are growing on. Pull all the vines off. The vines, eventually they weigh down the wire, so the cows can look over it and they hop over it because it's easy to get over. But this is a fence line I've actually never worked on, other than patching fence when the cows get on the other side. But right now I'm going to go through and make my life easier, and my future self will thank me when I go through and cut all this stuff down and just kind of pull it back probably about 5 or 6 feet off of the fence. And I'm going to do that all the way down to that little creek on the other side of the fence that we just put the fence post in and got that all patched up. So I don't know how much recording I'm going to get of that. I'm kind of going to be in the thick of it, so probably not much, but I will show you guys what it looks like when I am done. So I just got done. That was the last piece I cut. The chain on the saw hit the wire and came off the blade there, so I just kind of take a break. And as you can see, this wire really needs to be tightened because the cows will squeeze right through that. But cutting these trees down, anything that touches the wire will help with tightening that. That way I can actually tighten the entire thing all the way down. You can see that third wire is loose all the way down. But I cut probably about 100 yards down this way, tripping over stumps here. But I basically, anything that was touching or leaning on the fence, I went ahead and cut. And anything that I probably have to duck under and walk around, I cut. You can see all the palms. This one wasn't too bad. I did have one area right here where a cypress tree fell on top, so I just cut that down, stood the wire back up, and you can tell that the cows crawl through here because they leave their hide all the time, and they kind of push that wire, that fence stay over. As you can see, this wire really needs to be tightened, and actually there is a oak tree right there that's kind of used as a main post. I'm gonna have to cut it off of there and then splice it together. That way it's all just one piece. Keep coming down. You see, I'm gonna have to put the T-post here because a lot of this fence, you don't want, they'll lean on this, and you can see the next 3 or 4 posts, it is all like that, just eating up cypress trees that they use as fence posts. You can see termites or carpenter ants. I mean, that's not a good fence post. But last year, right before our Christmas vacation, I actually did go through, just a peace of mind, and put in these fence stays. The fence stays, they act as fence posts and keep the cows from spreading apart the wire. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab those 5 T-posts and replace these 5 posts that are down here. I'm gonna go ahead and splice all the wire together. That is if I have a roll of barbed wire back in the truck. If not, I'll have to do that another day, but I'm gonna go ahead and replace these T-posts, or these fence posts with T-posts, and then this fence will be pretty much secure and ready. So I'm telling you, those commercial cows, if there's a way to get out, they will find it. They do every year, because they know that grass stays green up on the marsh, but out on the ranch the grass kind of goes brown. And we do supplement with hay when that happens, but they still know that the grass is greener on the other side. So I'm gonna get that done, and we'll see you guys when I'm done with that. So I got my first post in. What I'm gonna do is, so last year I had to use this palm tree as a corner post because I couldn't run the wire from here to the other side, and that's the other side is where we fixed earlier. So there's that creek I'm telling you about, and right here's the hole that I've been telling you I've been worried about. So what I'm going to do is I brought over the fence stretcher, and I'm basically, because I don't have wire, I'm going to have to take pick a spot where the wire was already spliced together, squeeze them and push them. That'll pull the top wire tight, and then all the other wires tight. And I think I can do all of them from right here from last year. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these. That way I can put the straps on the T-post here, and then I'll be done with this fence for the day. All right, well, scratch that idea. I tried to splice the wire together, and the barbs just kept slipping further and further down the wire. When that happens, you can't really get a good bite on the wire. So I think just what I'm going to do for now is drive the T-post down into the ground, and then I think over in the pole barn there's a last bit of wire there, a small roll. So I'll have to bring that over, splice the wire together, and tighten it down that way. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and drive these posts down into the ground, pull out the fence stays that I can get out, and then I'm gonna take a little break, drive over to the pole barn, grab the wire, come back over here, and then I'm gonna be done out here at the ranch for the day. I gotta head back to the farm and make sure that the bulls didn't knock down the fence, because they were looking at each other and sniffing each other through the fence. So showing dominance, they want to get to each other and fight each other. So I got to get over there, make sure they didn't mess anything up, and make sure the calves and our 4 new bulls are in their designated area. So change of plans. I thought I had some wire, but I don't. So I'm going to have to go over to Tractor Supply or the feed store and get some of that. That way I just have it for the next few days that I am working on the fence. Gonna head over there, do that, and that end is closer to the farm, so I'm gonna go double check on everything out at the farm. Got to talk to the feed guys about delivering feed for this week. I'm not going to be here Thursday. I leave Thursday to go on a cruise, so I don't think I will be working on Thursday. I got to check. I don't remember. I've never been on a cruise, so I don't know how it works. I might work Thursday morning and head down to my brother's on Thursday evening, spend the night there, leave Friday, whatever. So I got to go talk to them about that. Typically they deliver on Thursdays, and I just pick up the pallet of feed out of the back of the truck that they have using a tractor, but I won't be here to do that. So I'm going to see if they charge us a little extra if they can unload it. I also have to get some hay dropped off, and I got to bring a round bale to the bulls out at the farm. So I'm going to leave the ranch and start getting those things done. Morning, everybody. We're out here at the ranch this morning. Today, or at least this morning on the agenda, we're going to go back over to where we were working on the fence yesterday and finish fixing that fence, get the barbed wire attached to the T-post, and get that wire tightened up. That way I feel better about letting those commercial cows out on these pastures. I also think I'm going to go through the next fence line down, the next, I guess you could say, patch of woods down south of that. That's another area that's heavily overgrown. I believe that is actually the area that I was walking through the other day, checking the fence line with you guys. I'm just gonna go ahead and go back there and just clear it out a little bit and make it easier for me to get some stuff done, and make it easier for me to check on stuff. And then later on in the day, I'm gonna go out to the feed store. I think I got a pallet of feed waiting for me. If not, I'll have to pick that up tomorrow. I hope that comes in before I have to leave for the cruise, because I really don't want those guys to have to unload it in the pole barn by themselves. And then I will be feeding the calves, feeding the bulls, picking up a round bale, and I think that'll conclude on my day. So I made it back over to where I was yesterday. I got some cows coming up because they know I'm parked over here. They think they're gonna get fed. Not the most ideal situation when the cows start coming over to a fence that I'm working on, especially when they start pushing through it. But it is by any means not cold out here. It is a beautiful morning, probably in the 60s, but I really don't want to go all day smelling like bug spray. So what I do is I spray the hoodie or the long sleeve shirt that I always keep in the truck with bug spray. It tends to keep the bugs away. And I spray my the bottom of my pant legs with bug spray that keeps the ticks and everything off of my boots and from crawling up my legs. That way I don't have to go all day smelling like a walking can of bug spray. But gonna get back there. I hope I left my fence stretcher back in the woods over there yesterday, because I knew I was gonna be coming back. If not, I left it at the house, and I'm gonna have to scrap what I'm gonna be doing this morning. But gonna get that done. I have a small roll of barbed wire. Hopefully it won't take that long to do, and we'll crawl back there through the morning spider webs and the dewy trees and start getting this fence line knocked out. I really think it'll make me feel better having this fence line touched up and just really gone through with some extra reinforcements. But we'll see. I got cows staring at me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get going. I don't want these guys to start pushing up and follow me into the woods. So what I went ahead and did was I walked down the fence line, and I took all the fence stays out, and then I came through and I tightened the wire and spliced it together all the way down. So now what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go down the line and basically feel the wire and see if it needs to be tightened up anymore. But other than that, I'm just gonna go by and pull off the hanging stuff. I'm gonna go put the straps on so it can attach to the fence post, put all of the fence stays back down the fence, and then I'll be done with this fence. And the cows, can't really see them, but they followed me into the woods over here, and they're all walking behind me. You can kind of see the truck's parked right over here. So they were hanging around there, but they saw me walking in the woods, so they walked into the woods. But so far, so good. The wire is looking tight. This second wire looks like it can be tightened a little bit more. So I'll go down there and I'll tighten that second wire. But I will go down there and tighten that wire. and it seems like there's a lot of play, but I also took out all the fence stays, and there's large gaps. So when I strap the wire to the post, it'll strengthen that wire and keep it nice and tight. But so far so good, and it is a lot better than what it was. And the wire gets loose over time from trees falling on it, vines growing on it, the cows stretching it to eat on the other side. And, they will at first stick their necks through, and then their shoulders, and then they walk all the way through it. Barbed wire really doesn't hold them back, but it can at least give them some resistance to where they don't want to go through it. So that's the main goal of this, is to get this fence fixed up and keep them in. But we're almost done here, and then we're gonna go to the other side. All right, I got all the fence posts in, the wire strapped to them. I got all the fence stays put back in, and this fence is really tight now that I put everything back together. So now that's all. Now what's left to do here is just make sure I got all my tools, head back to the truck, and keep checking fences further down the line. You know, I always think to myself how lucky I am to be working in a place like this. I know a lot of people, and actually the guy who owns all of the cows, he works in an office all day. But I get to come out here and enjoy this, just walking back to the truck with all my tools. You can hear the birds, the cows, you can hear everything going on. I had an owl fly over my head, and a barn owl fly over my head and land in a tree, and I thought that was super cool. And it just made me really think, holy cow, I'm super lucky to be working in such a peaceful environment. Yes, it's hard work, but it is so peaceful. It makes up for it. I mean, it's beautiful out here. Yes, I am sweating, but believe it or not, it is in the low 70s today and just sunny. It has just been beautiful all week, and I just absolutely love working out here. There's days where I come out here and I ride the four-wheeler around, because there's really, I mean, part of it is checking on cows, and you just ride around out here and you just think to it, wow, this is so beautiful. For those of you who don't know what a Florida environment is, it is at times very hot and very humid, but in November, December, in the winter time, you could say, it's so beautiful out. It's always blue skies and just amazing. No humidity, just absolutely top-notch weather. I wish it could be like this all year round. I absolutely love it, and it's just a big part of why I love my job so much. And it keeps me from complaining about my job, because I can just think back and remember on days like this going, wow, I'm freaking lucky, and it's just beautiful outside. All right, I made it on over to the next fence line that I want to work on, where we just came from. It's right over there on the other side of this food plot. So this fence line here gave me a huge issue last year, and this is the fence line that I walked earlier last week and showed you guys how not cleared out it is, I guess you can say. I mean, you got these palmetto palms all over the place. They make it a nightmare to tighten down the fence. So I'm just gonna go through and I'm gonna clear a lot of this out, and then tighten the fence as I go. As you can see, it's very overgrown, and something just needs to be done. And I don't know if y'all can see, I guess you can see when you're shining in the sun. Those are actually mosquitoes. There's so many mosquitoes out this time of year, it's ridiculous. And that is why I'm wearing the hoodie covered in bug spray, because if you don't, you just get eaten up out here. But
gonna get this fence line started, and we'll see how far we get. I know there is another creek that runs through here, so we'll have to go on the four-wheeler later on today and loop around the other side like we did the other day. So let's get to it. Well, it looks like we have a change of plans. I went to go use the chainsaw, and I don't have any bar oil. I don't want to run that blade hot, or that chain hot, I should say. So we're headed over back to the pole barn to see if I have any bar oil there. If I do not, I will have to go buy some, and we'll probably come back here for a little bit and run down that fence line, and then head out to the feed store and then the farm and do what I have to do out there today. But we'll check back in a little bit, and hopefully I have some bar oil so I can get some of that done. Well, there was no bar oil in the side-by-side, so looks like we're leaving the ranch for now. We're gonna run up to a little convenience store up the street and see if they have any. If not, we're just gonna continue on our day, and we'll do that fence line tomorrow. All right, I made it back out to the farm, and I just unloaded the round bale. Had to do it real quick because these guys came running when they saw the truck, so had to get the netting off so they didn't eat any of it. And now they got a round bale for the next few days. So these are our older bulls, some of our older bulls and yearling bulls. Got to keep them away from the young bulls we just bought from Yom Family Farms. That way they're not beating each other up, and that way they don't want to crawl through the fence and get away from one another. But as you can tell, they're happy as can be. And the reason we got to feed these guys the round bale, I keep one out here every time they run out of hay. I got to bring them another one. Now there is grass out here. As you can see, there's actually another open field back over there and under just after that opening, and there's grass up there where we mowed last week in the tractor. But this flower right here, or this plant, is called lantana, and if these guys get so hungry they eat that, and it can actually kill them. It's called lantana poisoning. They go blind at first, and then it eventually just kills them. But this keeps them from eating the lantana, and it keeps them looking good. As you can see, we got a couple good looking steers out here. Even our smaller bulls are starting to look a lot better now that we brought them back out here. And they've been grazing on hay. I feed them every once in a while. But hay keeps them happy, keeps them healthy. So I just fed the calves and the bulls. Oh, excuse me, my allergies are crazy. So I just fed the calves and the bulls. While I was doing that, I got a call from the feed store, which is a good thing. The pallet of feed for the weanlings just came in, so I don't have to worry about that coming in while I'm gone. So I'm headed over there to the feed store to go pick it up, and then I got to go unload it back in the pole barn there. So I'm back out here at the farm. I am unloading the pallet of feed over here out of the back of the truck. I got Kenai running around. How you doing, buddy? What are you doing? Happy as can be. We do this every day. He loves it out here. Sit. No. Sit. Speak. No. Speak. Speak. He's doing his silent speak. 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 No. Speak. Good boy. All right, go. What a good boy. Come here. He's a good boy. Give me that. Give me that. He does, he wants me to throw it, but he also doesn't want me to take it. Alright, Dad's got to get back to work. You be a good boy. Be a good boy. If y'all are wondering why it's taking me so long to get this pallet unloaded, it's It's because every time I throw it and I stack 2 bags, he drags me out here to throw his stick one more time. See, I'm gonna throw this left-handed. I'm not gonna be able to throw it that far. Best dog in the whole wide world. You ready to go? Go ahead, up. That's a good boy. Telling you, best dog ever. I'm all done loading this pallet up. I gotta throw this pallet in the dumpster. Gotta feed the calves and the bulls. And I gotta put the tractor back, and I'm all done for the day. So I got these guys fed. They're all happy. They got brand new bale of hay for the next couple days. It'll probably last them a couple days. Who knows? But they're happy and fed. The bulls back there are happy and fed. And I'm happy, just not fed. So I got pretty much everything I needed to get done today. Minus that little bit of fence line work, but that's not going to take much. Just cutting some cabbage palms down. That fence is pretty good and secure, so I won't have to work on that fence. I just got to work on clearing it. So I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I'm going to head over to a property I manage and then head home. Call it a day. Enjoy this nice weather. Maybe take the fiance for a little walk around the park. Who knows? But that'll be it for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.